Hi, my name is Jake Kwon, and I'm currently a sophomore at Wesleyan University, and I plan to double major in English and biology. So I was actually born in South Korea, and so I ended up moving because my parents wanted to give us a better education, and they believe to be a better lifestyle, and so we ended up moving to America when I was 7. I'm a first generation low income undocumented immigrant or student, and so they're all just categories of like what people stereotype as the least likely to get into college, and so I had such a hard time trying to pave a path for myself that my other family members haven't done before, so it's unprecedented. I never intended to apply to Wesleyan. It wasn't one of my top choices at all. I didn't even think, I didn't even know that this was a school or a potential school that I could apply to. But as I was getting to know my high school counselor very well, we had a very special relationship. And so what happened was that she got to know me a little better. She felt that my personality fit into the 3 colleges that she recommended me to, which were, again, Amherst, WashU, and Wesleyan. I got accepted into Emory and Wesleyan, and between the 2 I chose Wesleyan. And the reason why I applied to these schools was because of their policy on for undocumented students, as well as their generous financial aid packages. Among my list, I didn't have a lot of public universities because they either didn't accept undocumented students or because they couldn't provide funding or financial aid as much as the private universities could. I really feared rejection. That was one of the things that really got to me when I was applying to college. I didn't know what I was doing was right because I was trying to start my own journey as a college applicant, and I was just wondering, am I doing this right at all? Is this the way I'm supposed to go? I also kind of developed imposter syndrome at some point, am I really supposed to be here? Is this where I belong? And I really thought getting that rejection letter would confirm I'm not supposed to be here, it's that's what I feared most. So there are definitely times when I look back and I wish I could have done this or that, and one of the things is applying for scholarships. There are so many wonderful opportunities for undocumented students that I just simply didn't know about, and I actually applied through Questbridge, which is also a wonderful program for undocumented students, which provides full rides if you are eligible as a finalist to amazing college partners. And there are so many scholarship programs very similar to Questbridge that I did not know about, which I wish I knew about, such as Jack and Cook. There's the Golden Door Scholars, as well as the Dream US. People say this all the time to me when I was applying, that oh, you should go to a college that really fits you, and I really did not know what that meant because I felt like it was just a maxim, what people say, a cliche, and I was like, oh no, I'll be fine whatever college I go to. It's a higher education, that's all I'm seeking, and I felt like that was totally wrong with me. Looking back, so looking for that fit, I feel like it should have been something that I should have done as a college applicant. I did not tour any of the 11 colleges that I applied to, which I think is a mistake. I wish I had known about the pre-college programs after you get accepted. You can go to, you can fly over to the college and kind of tour the campus to see if it really matches your personality and the vibe that you look for in a college. And there's so many wonderful alumni networks that are available for students, and I wish I could have reached out. And really, personal experience is such a wonderful contact to have. That experience of talking about what college is like and being able to know or navigate that specific college campus is such valuable information to have when you're going to, if you're potentially going to that college, So I wish I really had that when I was applying. So literally wish that I had looked up some more of stories about undocumented students and their success in applying, because there are so many wonderful stories out there. There are so many forums where they discuss these success stories and how they got to college and what path others should take in order to achieve that success. And I feel like if I had done a little bit more research, I would have been able to find some of those successes and kind of mold it into the journey that I had been taking as a college applicant. So I was really surprised when I came on campus. Well, there were so many resources that were presented to me at first sight, and that's something I feel like is so uncommon on college campus these days. Having those resources for especially first generation students who really don't know what they're doing is so important. And Wesleyan has this wonderful program called First Things First, and it's directly tailored towards a cohort of students that come in, first year students who are low income and first generation, and they have kind of like a pre-orientation, so right before orientation. So that program really helped me adjust to the environment and kind of what to expect. And I really did feel like I was going to experience imposter syndrome, but there's so many professors who kept encouraging me that I could do it, and so many peers were like working hard together who were of similar background to me that I felt right at home. When I came to Wesleyan really dramatically changed how I viewed college life and what it is to be a student as well as just a person. When I came here, I was really just thinking of going on my route as a pre-med student. I was very rigid in my mindset when I came here, and I was like, oh, I'm only going to take biology classes, the ones that I need to take to be successful in order to go to medical school, and that's all I'm going to do here at college at my 4 years here at Wesleyan. But when I came here, Wesleyan really offered a broader spectrum. They have what they call general expectation requirements, which require you to take different classes in different departments. And that really kind of allowed me to explore my options as a student and kind of broaden my knowledge. And instead of just studying biology, which is going to be my major, I was able to kind of branch out and see what college is really like, which is kind of exploring who you are as a person. A lot of times people only study what they feel like they need to succeed, but in studying kind of everything, you are able to educate yourself on what the world is like and different perspectives that you never really thought about. And so I'm so glad that Wesleyan has brought that to my attention. And I'm actually, because of Wesleyan and the broad education requirements, I'm actually going to double major in English. Through my English major, I really want to explore the idea of ethnicity and race, which I think is so fascinating, and I'm so excited to do that. And I'm so glad that Wesleyan allows me to do that through such a fluid curriculum, and they allow you to tailor your education to how you want it to be, which I think is such a valuable characteristic of a liberal arts college campus. So my social life here at Wesleyan is what I kind of expected, or kind of, I guess, transferred from back home. Back home I had such close relationships with all my friends, and I was able to confide in them and was able to really share what I felt. And I felt like coming up north to like a new place, a new environment, I felt that I wouldn't have that connection anywhere. And I was expecting to just make, I don't want to say superficial friends, but friends, but not like maybe acquaintances, but not as close of a friend as I had back home. But at Wesleyan, they're so welcoming, and all of the friends that I made were actually within the first month of school, which I think is so surprising because so many times there are so many instances where students feel like they're isolated upon like coming to campus, which is why I feel like a lot of students don't feel welcomed or don't feel like they belong. But Wesleyan was, I feel like, special in that I was able to create friends instantly, and they were so sweet, and I'm really glad I made the friends that I have here, because I feel like they're just not a replica but another version of my close or best friends that I have back home, and I'm able to confide in all of my I have confidants. I'm so glad that I was able to create friends that I'm able to share like my daily life with. So.
Twice.
That's so weird. Yeah, so I actually applied to college with my twin brother, and one of the aspects, or one of the reasons why we applied to college together is because we are so close. Our relationship has been close ever since we were born. We decided that we would go to college together no matter what. And when we got into college together, we accepted the same college, Wesleyan, and when we came here, it was definitely, like if I didn't have him, I feel like I would have definitely had a harder time adjusting. It's like having like a piece of home with me. Like we roomed together our first year, when we take a lot of similar classes, so we helped each other a lot. So he was kind of like a resource that I had coming into college, knowing that I knew what he knew and he knew what I knew, and we were able to really complement each other in our studying. And it was just so great to have someone that really understands you, be right next to you, walking along this journey that was formed for both of us, but going together, it was really more comforting than if I didn't have them here with me. The reason why I work so hard is because of my parents. Without them, I would not have the great education that I received here in America. And I feel like the reason why we ended up moving to America was because they knew that education and career is so rigorous and it's so hard. I cannot thank them enough for the sacrifice that they made for us in having us obtain this wonderful education that we got. Because I feel like they literally sacrificed their lives coming here, not knowing the language, not knowing how to go through their different careers because they speak a different language. They were not able to definitely help me through like the logistics of college application process because they've never really gone through college applications themselves, and especially not in a foreign country like America for them, and also because they weren't able to really speak English, so they really didn't know how to navigate the process themselves. Without them, I wouldn't be here today, and they really helped me or shaped me to become the person that I am.